Today we're changing the oil in this 2023 Giulia Quadrifoglio, and we're going to find out whether it is better to use this oil extractor or to go underneath the car to extract the oil. The last time that I attempted to use this oil extractor, I only managed to get 5 quarts or 4.75 liters of oil out of the car using the extractor only. Now we know that the oil sump and filter of this car holds 7.2 quarts of oil, which is equivalent to 7 liters of oil. So I wasn't very satisfied with the amount of oil that I was able to get out of it using this extractor. So today I'm going to try something different. So first we're going to try the extractor, then we're going to see how much oil we get. If that doesn't work, we're going to raise the car from one of the sides, which is what one of you guys suggested, to see if we can get more oil out of it. If that still doesn't work, then we're going to go underneath the car and just to see how much more oil we can get out of it. So let's go ahead and remove the dipstick. Then we're going to insert this tube right in there to extract the oil. All right, that's as far as it will go. So the way this works is that we're gonna have to pump it so that we can create some pressure inside that's gonna suck the oil out of it, out of the engine. So let's go ahead and do that here. And notice that the oil is starting to come out. So what I like about this method is that it's no mess, okay? You don't get messy at all. But we're gonna see whether this is worth it or not. Okay, at some point I'm gonna stop pumping to let the oil get inside of this tank here. So that's good right there. I'm gonna leave it there. I can hear the oil coming out. Let me move this around a little bit. There we go. I just pulled it up just a little bit so I can see a good flow. There we can see the oil coming out, a lot of oil. All right, let me pump it a little bit more. We can see oil starting to accumulate there. So this takes a little bit of time, a little bit of patience. So we're gonna give it some time there. So this is what I've gotten after 15 minutes of pumping. You can see it's right around here, which is 3.5 liters roughly. Okay, a lot less than what I did last time. So I'm gonna do what one of you guys suggested, which is to raise the driver front side of the car to see if we can get more oil out. Let's go ahead and give that a try. All right, so despite my best efforts trying to get more oil out, I still was not able to get more of it out. So it's still at 3.5 liters, roughly 3.7 quarts. I raised the car all the way up, different heights, and it's still not doing anything. I'm gonna try the other side. So same thing for the passenger side. I was not able to get any more oil, not a single drop more on that side as well. Try it again, different heights. Try messing around with this right here, going in different depths, and it still didn't work. So my next step is going to go underneath the car just to show you guys, in the name of science, just to see how much more oil there's still in the engine. All right, so she's on all 4 now. As you guys can see, all 4 wooden stands. Check out the video card above so you guys can learn how to make your own wooden stands. I love these things. This would be a good time for you guys to give this video a like. Look what I had to do. So my floor jack gave out on me, started spilling oil all over the place, even got it on the car here. So I had to use this thing over here. You know what a pain that is. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started with the oil change from under the car. So check this out. I finished removing the under panel from the car. This is held in place by these screws here. These are T25s. Excuse me, these are T30s. There are 17 of these, and you got 2 of these T25s. They go all around the edge here and in the middle, all around. So it's quite a bit of them. But look at how much dirt and debris is in here. We even have some dead bugs in there, rocks, and all kinds of stuff. I'm very impressed by the quality of this right here. Notice that it even has built-in heat shields in this. And this piece right here is all metal. It also has some vents right here to allow some airflow to pass through this. This is probably used to cool down the oil in the oil sump, since this is directly in line with that. And this hole right here, this is directly underneath the oil plug. However, it's kind of difficult to remove the oil plug and not make a mess with all the oil coming out of it. I was thinking of maybe making this a little bit bigger so I don't have to remove this flap every single time I want to change the oil. Another idea I had was to make this into a flap so that I could just kind of remove as I was changing the oil and then be able to put it back. But we'll see, I'll think more about that. That right there is the oil plug. So we're gonna go ahead and take that off to get some more oil out of this engine as much as we can. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, bum. So this plug right here requires a 1/2-inch socket. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it off here. The cool thing about this plug is that you don't have to remove it for the oil to start coming out. It has some holes on the side so that the oil can drain out. I'll show you guys here in a minute after it's done draining here. And don't forget to loosen this cap right here when you're doing the drain from the bottom. This will allow it to drain a lot quicker. This is what I was trying to show you guys. You can see here that it's got some holes there, right there at the base. So as you start to unscrew this, the oil starts coming out this way. So I really like the design of this plug. There is a washer here. You have to be careful with it because this washer has both metal and rubber. The inner ring, it's rubber while the outside is metal. So you have to be careful with this so that you don't mess up the rubber. I'm going to be reusing this. This is not cheap, so I decided to just go ahead and reuse it. I believe this is reusable. You guys can comment down below and let me know if that's the case. But I'm gonna take my chances, I'm gonna reuse it. Hopefully I won't have any leaks, but I'll let you guys know if that does happen. All right, the next step here is going to be to replace the oil filter. So first off, we're gonna have to remove this engine cover right here. So you can just grab onto it and then pull up on it like this. All right, and this has some rubber grommets underneath it, which fall on top of this nipples right here. You got there, another one right there. Next, we're going to remove this whole intake manifold. So first off, I'm going to need to pop these clips right here. There's also a coolant hose right back here that we need to undo. This is attached to the back of this right here. So make sure you undo that. We're going to do this clip right here as well. Next, we're going to go ahead and pull on this to pull it apart, just like that. Same thing with the other side. Now this guy is ready to come off. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up on this like this. All right, and then I'm gonna loosen this up right here, right there. Then I can just lift this up. All right. This is held in place by this rubber grommets right here. You got two right there. Right, make sure you put those back. Okay, they go in these nipples right here, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop those back in there. Sometimes they come off. All right, let's go ahead and remove this whole piece. This is where your engine filter is gonna be inside of that, but we don't need to worry about that for now. And that's our filter right here. And to remove that, you're gonna need a 32mm socket. So I'm gonna put that right there. I'm gonna use this shop towel right here so that I don't drip any oil on the engine. And there's our dirty filter. I went ahead and cleaned up the oil filter housing. In case you're wondering, this thing right here, that's your oil pressure sensor. So now we're ready to go ahead and put the plug back in and start filling her up with oil again. Okay, so I got pretty much all the oil drained out of it. There's very little oil coming out. And as you guys can see right here, there is some evidence of an oil leak. It is minor, but I'm still going to keep an eye on this to make sure that it doesn't continue to happen. It could be that the oil plug was not tied properly, since I noticed it was quite easy to untie the oil plug when I went ahead and did this job. And just to give you guys a little bit of a background, this is only my second oil change with this car. I got it pre-owned with low miles. So the first time that I did the oil change, I did it from the top of the engine using an oil extractor. And obviously this is the first time that I get to go under the car to see this issue here. If it turns out to be that the washer on the oil plug is the issue, then I will have to make sure that I would replace that every time I do the oil change from going forward. But hopefully this will be a simple fix, just making sure that the oil plug is tightened properly. Okay, the moment we've all been waiting for. We're gonna see how much more oil we got out of the engine. Right now it's right here, which is around 3.5 liters. So let's go ahead and bring in the rest of the oil. All right, here we go. Now that's more like it. So that's pretty clear that these things right here is not the best option, at least not with the 2023 Quadrifoglio. I have seen other videos where people have used this and they have managed to get up to 6 liters of oil, you know, on older models of this car. But apparently things have changed. You know, maybe there's different plumbing inside of the car that doesn't allow you to extract all of the 6 liters that you used to get. But this right here is pretty much filled to the brim, and that right there is about 6.5 liters of oil, which is outstanding. You know, there's very little oil left in the engine. Love the channel? Join as a member for bonus videos, early access, shout outs, and more. Just click the join button. It helps me keep creating and you get cool perks. Thanks. So the last time that I did this oil change, I used this AMSOIL oil, which is great. I don't have any issues with it. This time I want to change it up. I want to try something different. I'm going to go with this Pennzoil. Okay, this is probably the most popular type of oil for these cars. So we're going to go ahead and use that. In terms of frequency, I always go with 6 months, no matter how many miles I've driven the car. That's just how I go about doing the oil change. In this particular case, I've driven this car about 3,500 miles during this past 6 months. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do the oil change regardless of the mileage, like I said. And just a side note here, guys, I realized that for those of you who are taking your car into the dealership or having someone else do the oil change, this could become a financial burden, given that, you know, for example, in the area where I live in Central Florida, the dealership wants $500 for an oil change. So in my case, I would be looking at $1,000 a year to do oil changes. But if you do this job yourself, you would be saving some money. That is if you don't take into account the time that you're going to be spending in doing the job, obviously. Depending on the oil type that you use and whether you use an OEM filter or not, you would probably be looking at a little less than $200 up to $250 per oil change. In my case, I like doing my own oil changes because I don't think there's anyone out there that's going to take better care of my car, even if I'm paying them. In case you guys are wondering why I choose to do oil changes every 6 months regardless of miles, that is because I want this engine to last as long as possible. And I don't think that 10,000 mile oil changes are going to help me achieve that. You guys can also see the video description for this video. I will be providing some links to some videos that I came across from some automotive experts who have decades of experience in this field. They also recommend oil changes every 6 months for those of us who want to keep our engines running as long as possible. And here I have my very expensive, you know, OEM filter, $125, which I think is absolutely ridiculous that this thing costs $125, but it's very difficult to find it any cheaper than that if you want to go OEM. So we're going to go ahead and put this new oil filter in there. There's only one O-ring you have to do in this case. There are some older models that have 2 other O-rings here at the end, but not in this case. So we just lubricate this to ensure we have a good seal, and then we put it in there. This is going to need 25 Newton meters of torque. All right, new filters going in. Now we're gonna go ahead and torque it. And in case you're wondering how to put these clamps back together, they do have specialized tools for this clamp so you can clamp it back in. For some reason, the one that I have is not working on this here, so I'm just going to be using some regular pliers. You can also use that if you have that available, and just going to go ahead and pinch it just like this. You may hear it click when it falls into place, or you may not. In this case, there, it's good to go. Be sure to click the video card above so you can learn how to reset the oil life once you've done the oil change. So I sent an oil sample to Blackstone. This is my first time doing this. So I just want to add a disclaimer here that I'm not an expert reading this type of analysis, but I will talk about some of the things that I have learned. So just to start off, again, this is a 2023 Giulia Quadrifoglio. I was using AMS oil 5W40 as you guys saw in the video. And basically I used this oil for 3,500 miles. This is how many miles I had on the car when I did the oil change. I did add about a quarter of a quart of oil in between oil changes. This is not due to the fact that the engine is burning oil. This was me trying to get the oil level reach the maximum. The comments here are also pretty positive, stating that there is no evidence of mechanical issues. It also says that the oil viscosity is within spec, and the TBN, it's also very good. I did want to mention here that I used the Sprint racing filter during this 3,500 miles. I also did a follow-up video on that Sprint filter, and I mentioned in that video that I do not recommend using that filter. And as you guys can see right here, the elements in the oil are pretty good, even though I had this filter on there. But do keep in mind that this oil was only running for 3,500 miles. It's hard to speculate what these numbers will look like if I were to keep the racing filter permanently in the vehicle. We can also see here that the viscosity is holding pretty strong at 11.98. I would like to have seen this number to be a little bit higher. I will be testing different oils on this car, and now I've done the Pennzoil, and in the future I'll try different oils and do oil analysis on each of these just to get a comparison between the different oils. We can also see here that the percentage of fuel in the oil is pretty negligible. The same thing goes for insolubles, which are solid and liquid materials that do not dissolve in the oil. The TBN, or total base number, it's also looking pretty good. This measures how much active additives are left in the oil. So this is an indication that the oil additives that come with the oil are holding up pretty well. My goal is to educate myself more on these analyses so that I can best take care of my engine. If you guys have any tips or suggestions based on past experiences you may have had, I would love to learn more, especially if you've tried different types of oils. I would love to learn more about what oils are best for our cars. All right, that's going to do it for today, guys. Thanks so much for sticking around. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.